Hello and welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute-a-day podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse, recorded here in the dining room of the Bible Bistro, located in Sharonville, Ohio. Hey there, friend. Welcome back to Daily Dose Radio here in the Bible Bistro. Come on in here and sit down with me. This is your home, for daily Bible study, 5 minutes a day, 5 days a week, studying the Bible verse by verse. Actually, we're studying the Psalms verse by verse. That's all we do here. So we get you your daily dose of the Psalms right in on the whatever part of the day you're happen to be listening to this broadcast. Well, this week we have a dandy. They're all dandies, but this week's a good one, and that is Psalm 112. Now, Psalm 112 comes after Psalm 111. Now, I know you didn't need to tune into Daily Dose Radio to learn that fact, but Psalm 111 and Psalm 112 are mirrors of one another in several ways, and we'll talk about that this week. This psalm is 10 verses long. It does not have an introduction. However, the Vulgate attributes it to Zechariah and Haggai. So they believe that it was written after the captivity and that Zechariah or Haggai or both wrote this psalm. So that's up for debate, but that's what the Vulgate has as an introduction to this psalm. This psalm is, as I said, 10 verses long. This is another acrostic. So yes, in that way, it mirrors Psalm 111. It has 22 lines, so we have 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet. So each line begins with a word that starts with that letter in sequence. Most of these are couplets until we get down to 9 and 10, and then 9 and 10 we have triplets that are written in the poetic fashion of the Hebrews in 9 and 10. This psalm is about the blessed man. Now last week we talked about the Lord, and the psalm was entitled by me, His Works, the works of the Lord. But now we're going to see how the blessed man reflects what we learned about the Lord in 111, because there's going to be some language that's exactly the same that comes across here into Psalm 112. And it's about the blessed man, the man who fears the Lord. We're going to look at that this week, and today I'm going to read verses 1 and 2. Praise ye the Lord. Blessed is the man that fears the Lord, that delights greatly in his commandments. His seed shall be mighty upon earth. The generation of the upright shall be blessed. Now, if you're thinking like I'm thinking, this sounds a little bit like Psalm 1, doesn't it? In Psalm 1, what do we have? We have, blessed is the man that walks not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor stands in the way of sinners, nor sits in the seat of the scornful, but his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law does he meditate day and night. Here we have basically the same thing. The man who fears the Lord is blessed, and he delights in what? The commandments. That's what it says here in verse 1. And in Psalm 1, it's he delights in the law. So the law, the commandments are, synonymous terms here. And so very much like Psalm 1, this blessed man, now we're going to unpack his story a little bit. We had him there in Psalm 1. His delight is in the law of the Lord. And then in verse 3 in Psalm 1, he's like a tree planted by the rivers of water and so forth, who bears his fruit in his season. His leaf doesn't wither, but all that he does prospers. We're going to see more about that man here in Psalm 112. So we start off with the designation, the blessed man is the man that fears the Lord, delights in God's commandments, and delights greatly, by the way. His seed shall be mighty upon the earth. The generation of the upright shall be blessed. So you notice that we have blessing twice here. We have it at the beginning, there in verse 1, and we have it at the end in verse 2. So the man identified as blessed, delights in the commandments. Here's his blessing. The first thing out of the box is his seed will be mighty upon the earth. The generation of the upright shall be blessed. So his seed and the generation, those are parallel ideas. And of course, that means that the psalmist is emphasizing that idea as we begin to discuss the blessing of this man, what it means to be a man who fears the Lord. Then this is the very first thing. his future, his seed, his generation. That will be blessed as well. All right, join me tomorrow, and we'll look at verses 3 and 4 here on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. For more fresh and delicious Bible studies, podcasts, books, and more, check out the Bible Bistro online and on YouTube. Join me again next time for Daily Dose Radio.